brewing on Startup Street today. India is all set to witness its first ever Startup Mahakumbh from the 18th to the 20th of March this year, bringing together more than 1,000 startups and 1,000 investors. My colleague Akhil Vishwanath was at the curtain raiser of the Startup Mahakumbh today and caught up with the organizing committee that comprises of veteran investors to get a sense of how an event like this could help the startup ecosystem.
Over 1,000 startups, over 1,000 investors, over 500 incubators and accelerators, over 5,000 future entrepreneurs. Imagine them all under one roof. That's the grand plan behind the Startup Mahakumbh, which is scheduled to be organized from the 18th to the 20th of March this year in New Delhi. The Startup Mahakumbh is expected to be a first-of-its-kind event in India in terms of its scale, impact and magnitude, and the attempt is also drawing comparisons with global conclaves such as Viva Tech in France and Startup Fest in the US. Industry bodies such as NASSCOM, ASSOCHAM, TIE and IBCA amongst others are spearheading the event with the support of DPIIT to showcase the surge of the Indian startup ecosystem and act as a platform for sharing of ideas to further strengthen it and mobilize capital for further growth. The curtain raiser ceremony today saw the attendance of Minister of Commerce Piyush Goyal, the organizing committee members and veteran investors Sanjay Nair, Sanjay Bikhchandani, Prashant Prakash, Archana Jagirdar of Rukam Capital, Nivruti Rai of Invest India. The event also saw the attendance of Deepinder Goyal of Zomato being one of the partners for Startup Mahakumbh.
Our startups are changing the rules of the game. That's why I believe startups are going to be the backbone of New India. This is our time under the sun. Sun is rising. I hope we don't miss the bus. I hope the message goes loud and clear to all the successful or startups in the anvil to be successful, not to lose this opportunity. It's going to be the first of hopefully an annual event and give a platform to both the success stories to showcase what we have built in the last decade. It'll also showcase the revolution.
I would say if we can make this an annual event and people aspire to be here and they can take away some real knowledge and of course funding in many cases, which we hope will happen. So we're going to have hundreds of booths. We're going to have 10 different verticals ranging from B2B, SaaS, AI, space, climate.
So if you're an investor who's focused on climate tech, then you can engage and interact with startups that have been curated for the climate tech pavilion, right? So it's easier to find the startups that are aligned to your interest. So I think we want to enable a much faster, speedier kind of collaboration between entrepreneurs and investors.
What is critical to the startup ecosystem is for it to be adequately capitalized. I think that's a very, very key aspect, right? So last year we all know that there has been certain flight of capital, but now as you know, winter always turns to spring, and when there's spring, there's always a celebration. So therefore there is this Startup Mahakumbh celebration to bring all the investors together.
So when everybody comes together for 3 days, all startups, all founders, all investors, all policymakers, the public, students, future entrepreneurs, when everybody comes together, I think magic happens.
Moving on, LinkedIn